She dyed her hair blonde and then she left her husband, okay? Comes to luxury and like, I want that. That's Jayne Mansfield. What it is, what it ain't, it's your girl Umbrella, and I am back with another video. Okay, y'all. We are back and we are in effect. That's all I can say. We're in effect. This channel is almost at 900 subscribers. Like, hello. Hello. This has been such a journey. Like, oh my God. Literally. I am so excited to be getting closer and closer to my long-term goals on this channel. I have cried. It's been a fight to keep going on this channel for years. I want to say it's year 5 because I feel like I started in 2020 on YouTube. I'm not sure. I have to look into it. I think it's 2020 though. But listen, like, this channel is so special to me because it's literally me just talking. Like, I don't have to do anything else but sit here and talk about something interesting and talk to you guys, and literally it's the highlight of my life. Like, I've always wanted to have my own show or just be an entertainment period, and I'm just glad I could do it in a very like educational way instead of, just using my body or anything like that. Now, before we get started on today's topic, I do want to ask you guys to please follow my vlog channel. A lot of you are not on there, and I need you on there. Please go follow. Stop what you're doing right now and go follow. I'm gonna drink some coffee while you do. Okay, I'm gonna grab my coffee and I'm gonna wait. And I need to see that subscriber list go up, okay? If you support me over here, then you need to support me over there. It's literally me showing my life. It's showing what I'm doing. It's showing my son. He's literally 8 months now. He's almost a year old. Like, I need you guys to support me on this channel, of course. But I also need you guys to support what I'm doing as a mom in this new journey. So I really need you guys to support me over there, okay? Please and thank you. Now that we've gotten the introductions done, we are doing this video on Jayne Mansfield. Now, I promise the next video that I do about this, because it's going to be more videos on this topic, because if you know, you know. At the end of this month, there's a documentary coming out, and I'm going to watch it, and that's why I'm doing this video right now, okay? I promise to come with a cute pink fit. Now, I literally had some errands to run this morning, so I am wiped out by the damn sun. So this is as cute as I could get today, okay? But I promise next video to throw on something pink and something cute so we can all get the vibe, because hello, we're talking about Jayne Mansfield, okay? She is notably one of the earliest sex symbols, as well as, of course, Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe was the first. Let's not get it twisted. But Jayne Mansfield came right after her. Like, right after her. She was on her neck a little bit, I have to say. I'm fearing she was on her neck a little bit, okay? The difference you'll see in this video between her and Marilyn, but they do have a lot of similarities, okay? So let's just get into it. If you don't know, just to start things off, if why Jayne Mansfield is so important, it's because she was, like I said, notably one of the first sex symbols. She was the first actress to go completely nude on TV, like on film. Hello. And she is Mariska Hargitay from Law and Order, the lead actress on Law and Order. That's her mom. Jayne Mansfield is her mom. So acting is in her blood, okay? Like, Jayne Mansfield is her mom, y'all. And if you look really close, they look alike. Like, I peeped. I peeped that they look alike. And I'm so here for it. She probably looked more like her dad, but I see Jayne Mansfield in her face, and I'm like, ooh, ooh, okay, okay. In the black community, Miss Mariska is, she's that girl for us. You know what I'm saying? She's that. Think of Law and Order, you think of her first. Okay, that's just on period. But anyways, we're gonna get into Jayne Mansfield video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let's go. We, of course, know Jayne Mansfield as a blonde bombshell. She rose to stardom around the same time as Marilyn Monroe. One of her most successful films was around the same time that Marilyn Monroe was already famous, already popping. So Jayne Mansfield quickly came up, and she actually came up off of a Broadway production. So it wasn't actually a film. I think it later got turned into a film. Don't quote me on that. I'm gonna have to go back and see, but I'm pretty sure it got turned into a film. But it was a Broadway production that took her to stardom. Okay. Thing noted too is that they did Marilyn Monroe and Jayne Mansfield did end up on the same studio at the same time. So I know the tension was like, you know what I'm saying? I know that tension was thick. And they had the same kind of like, you know, not the same sex appeal, but they had the same. They were in the same lane basically. So she was also a comedic actress, like kind of like Marilyn Monroe. But not like Marilyn Monroe. Like she was more comedic than Marilyn Monroe was. She kind of played dumb a lot. Marilyn Monroe played dumb a lot in a lot of her movies. If you've ever seen some of her movies, she just has this clueless like act that she does. But in reality, she was actually very smart. And that's the same thing with Jayne Mansfield. She actually had a bomb IQ. She could also play the violin and the piano. She learned as a kid. So she was very smart, a very smart woman. And the sex appeal thing was basically just her image. This is not a comparison video. I just wanted to make a few points. So let's get back to Jayne Mansfield. She was born April 19th, 1933 in Pennsylvania. She, like I said, she learned how to play the violin and the piano when she was a kid. Her real name is Vera Jane Palmer, but she got married when she was 16 to Paul Mansfield, and throughout her life she just kept the last name Mansfield. I'm pretty sure the studio probably told her, no, you need to keep that name is popping. She eventually had a daughter with Paul Mansfield, and she named her daughter Jane Marie Mansfield. Like I said, they lived in Pennsylvania. Jayne Mansfield always wanted to be an actress, and after she had her daughter, they moved to California when Paul Mansfield was going into the army, and she started working on her career, period. She signed a contract with Ladder Studios in 1955. She dyed her hair blonde, and then she left her husband, okay? I'm pretty sure he didn't want her to be, you know, involved in Hollywood like that. And, you know, usually things don't work out in a relationship when a partner is not being supportive of the things that you want to do. That's usually a reason to break up. So I'm pretty sure that that's what broke them up, is that he didn't want her to be in the studio, and she was like, this is my dream, I'm going to do what I want to do, period. Actually then posed nude for Playboy. And before we move on, I just want to say that the amount of courage that you had to have to pose for Playboy after you have a child, I'm gonna give her a little that for that, because baby, after you have a baby, it's hard to snap back sometimes. It depends on your body and genetics and things like that too. But your body don't look the same after you have a baby. You know, I don't care how good the snapback is before you get on that table or work out, your body ain't gonna look the same no more. It's not gonna be the same. So kudos to her for having the courage to actually pose for Playboy, but she did pose nude for Playboy. And then she was working with Warner Brothers, but they dropped her 6 months into her contract, and she joined the Broadway production called Will Success Spoil Rock Hunter. And that's the Broadway production that I was talking about that gave her critical fame, okay, people. After that, that made her a star, and Life magazine actually named her the smartest dumb blonde. And I know that that was a hit at Marilyn Monroe. The shade back in the day was real. I just want y'all to know that they did not hold back. Reporters and news anchors, they did not hold back on their shade. They did not play those games. They were going to call you what they were going to call you, okay? And it was pretty unforgiving. And most of the time you were typecasted based off of what the newspapers and the magazines would say about you. Then after that, she won a Theater World Award for that production, and she signed with 20th Century Fox after that in 1956, and she starred in The Girl Can't Help It. I know y'all know that song. I've never seen that movie, but I did see a movie with Jayne Mansfield later in her career. I think it was like in 1960s movie called The Burglar. I think that's what it's called. I literally turned it on the other day and I realized I watched it already. If you don't know that about me, your girl right here, me, I love older movies. I love 1950 movies. I love 1960s movies. I love old Hollywood movies. I love Alfred Hitchcock films. My favorite, of course, is Psycho. But I love Vertigo. I love Rear Window. Like, I love all those movies. I literally still watch them to this day. Like, I watch Alfred Hitchcock Presents like almost every night. Like, don't play. I'm that girl when it comes to that era. When it comes to the old Hollywood glam, I'm that girl. I know things, okay? She won a Golden Globe in 1957, and in 1958, she married Mickey Hargitay. I know I'm butchering that name. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They had 3 kids. So she had her first daughter from the first marriage, and then the 3 kids, so that makes 4. So now she has 4 children, but 3 from her new husband in 1958. And their names are Miklos, Zoltan, and Mariska. So it's Jayne, Miklos, Zoltan, and Mariska. She starred in 3 films in 1957, and then she starred in It Takes a Thief in 1960 and The Love of Hercules. She actually starred also in an Alfred Hitchcock Hour in 1960, as well as getting her Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1960. So she does have a Hollywood star that we know how she became famous and everything. Let's talk about her lifestyle. So she was glamour, okay? Like we all know like Marilyn Monroe's style, but I'm sorry. Like Marilyn Monroe, like her style is her style. Her style is cute. Don't get me wrong. But when it comes to luxury and like I want that, that's Jayne Mansfield. Like her pink palace, the pink palace, y'all. The Pink Palace. Her and her husband, they bought the Pink Palace for $76,000. They completely renovated it. It was a Mediterranean style home. They completely renovated it. They turned it completely pink. This one shade of pink everywhere. So it's pink. She had a pink car that was a little bit darker, like a lot darker than the house. But the house on the outside was pink. I'm gonna show pictures, of course. The house on the outside was pink. The freaking pool was heart shaped. She had a heart-shaped tub in her bathroom. She literally had floor to ceiling carpet, all pink, everything pink, pink marble counters, like just like a girl's dream. That was what she was living, a literal girl's dream, okay? Like she had chihuahuas in there. She had poodles in there. Everything was pink. And her kids lived there with her, including her man. What man do you know would live in an all pink house with a woman? Like she was like, you're living with me. You're living my life. Okay. Wow. Wow. House was originally at 10100 Sunset Boulevard in Holmby Hills, Los Angeles. That's where the house was. And it was beautiful. She literally would call reporters, call news people, all of that to come see her house. Like she was the queen of publicity stunts. She literally would call reporters to show up when she had a red carpet event. She would have her husband carrying her everywhere around the house. Sometimes when she knew the tour buses was coming by, like for the Hollywood tours, she would come out on the balcony and like blow kisses. She was just a baddie, okay? One of the original baddies, okay? Just luxurious, just luxury, you know what I'm saying? So unfortunately enough, the home was actually demolished in 2002. There was a person, I forgot, someone that was living there before it got sold to a developer, and then they demolished it in 2002. They should have never done that, because Marilyn Monroe house is still together as far as I know. So why? I wanted to see it. Okay, I ain't never been to Los Angeles, but when I go to Los Angeles, that was something that I would like to see and take pictures and get cute. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it could have been a museum, it could have been anything. Like, wow, I'm pissed about that. But, anyways, literal opulence, pink, passionate opulence. That's the life. That's the life. Champagne, pink walls, pink fur, pink robes, pink, 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 pink. Okay. Unfortunately, in 1963, her and Hargitay, her husband Mickey, they divorced. And I say unfortunate because I mean, you have 3 children with a man. Of course, you want to end up with that person. But like I said, it's her lifestyle. It's hard to live. It's hard to live a lifestyle where someone is, you know, the real person, but they're acting different in front of the camera, and they have to in order to keep up the image, you know, of being this like celebrity individual. So it's a hard lifestyle to live. Um, so after that, she starred in Promises in 1963. And she was the first actress to go nude in that film. I mean, completely nude. I feel like they showed her boobs and her meow meow. So around the 60s, I think people started to get tired of her antics. Like I said, I want to say, let me look it up real fast, but I want to say Marilyn Monroe passed away in 1963. She passed away in 1962. You know, the world was mourning her death. And then, you know, as they were mourning her death, you know, Jayne Mansfield is still, you know, doing, upholding this image. And people just grew tired of it. People often said that she was just way too accessible. Like, she had too many people around her. She had too many people in her life that she didn't know, strangers that she would just invite places just so they could see, you know, how she lived. And it was just too much, like, especially for her to have as many kids as she did. Like, people just grew tired of the antics, honestly, and the publicity stunts. So her roles got more generic and just based off of her sex appeal towards this time. This was her third marriage. She married Matt Simber in 1964, and they had a son named Antonio. So that's the fifth child and last child. And then they divorced in 1966. Damn. Her last film was a cameo in A Guide for the Married Man in 1967. Unfortunately, her death was also in 1967. Her driver, Sam Brody, was her boyfriend at the time. And her 3 children were also in the back seat of the car in Louisiana. The entire top of the car was cut off, and there was actual rumors that her head was off her body because they saw her wig was like off to the side of the road, so they thought that she was decapitated. There was lots of rumors about that, but that's not true. It's just, you know, the impact of everything, it made her wig come off, and she was killed instantly, her boyfriend, and the driver. Fortunately, her children survived the accident. All 3 of them were fine in the back seat. They had minor injuries, but they were okay. Her 3 middle children, Michaelos, Zoltan, and Mariska, was in the back seat of the car. Mariska was 3 years old at the time. And that was the end of her life and the end of her career. And I mean, she did a lot in her life. And it's unfortunate that she didn't get enough time with her children, and she didn't get enough time to like talk to them and tell her things, because it does. I'm gonna get to how I feel about like Mariska in the next video. I don't want to say too much, but it does give like her career does give that she tried to do things and succeeded, because she's a very successful serious actress. And I think it's because her mother didn't get a chance to do that. I think that she really wanted to do things differently and show a different side of being a woman actress that's not just about sex and all that. So if you ask me, she's done a phenomenal job. But I'm excited to see the documentary. I think I want to say it's called My Mother Jayne. I think that's what it's called. And her brothers and sisters are on there, so I'm excited to see them. So it's gonna be tea. It's gonna be tea, and I can't wait to see it. So y'all stay tuned for that video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and subscribe to my other channel. I will have a link below, and I will see you guys at 900 subs. Bye.